Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite game with the limp, and I'm here with a demo for Strategos. This is by Microprose Games, and from what I can see, it seems like it's just the battle segment from Total War. All right, Total War Rome, Total War Medieval, yeah, whichever one. This is obviously Ancients. Not entirely sure exactly what time period, but it does look like hoplites. That's the gist I'm seeing from it. But anyway, we do have a tutorial available to check out. So we're going to see how good the gameplay is. Campaigns aren't available, no reenactments. We do have a tutorial, historical battle simulator, and I'm not sure exactly what manual is. I think maybe you get to, oh, the manual. That's what that is. I thought maybe you meant to like skirmish manually create your own, but nope, don't have that. So we're going to try the tutorial really quickly just to see if we can learn how to play this and get into the battles proper. Ugh, I don't know anything about the game, so we'll go with beginner. You can open close a window at any time using the tutorial window button at the top right edge. Okay, I see it there. WASD to move. Okay, or mouse 3. Okay. To pan the camera, they can be rebound. Try moving the camera now. Yeah. We've moved the camera. All right, can we go to the next? Do I have to X? Once you have moved the camera and close the window, the tutorial will advance. And close this window. You can also return to the previous tutorial window later with the arrow keys, top left corner. Okay. There we go. Select a unit by clicking on the unit itself or by clicking on the unit's card at the bottom of the screen. Again, very Total War-esque. Holding down the left mouse. Okay, we can drag. Only units in a commandable state, idle or moving, can be commanded. The red state displayed above a unit's banner. If that icon is red, like the charging icon, the unit cannot be commanded. Now that's interesting. That's something new. Left-clicking the ground will unselect all units. Close this window and select your general, which is the cavalry unit, Thessalian Cavalry. The yellow star above. It's flagged to continue the tutorial. Okay. What are we doing here? You selected your general. Generals are marked by a golden star above their banner. Yeah. Always respond immediately to movement commands, assuming they are in the commandable state. You may view your general's command radius by clicking. Let's see. Okay, I see. I'm back far away from mine. There we go. Here's my general. Let's see. By clicking the command range overlay button in the bottom left of the screen, which is where I'm currently sitting. Maybe I can't move my camera, not the way I'm recording this, so you guys will have to just take my word for it. Okay, but yes, there's just a little button down here for controlling certain things, just a few icons. Your non-general units outside of your general's command radius do not react immediately to commands and instead must wait for a courier sent from the nearest general. Ooh. They're going old school, accepting their first move. No combats have resolved yet. A unit waiting for a courier will display the horse envelope icon as banner. The number of available couriers remaining is displayed in the bottom left of the screen over the horse envelope signal. I've got 5. Will glow red if there are no couriers remaining. The command range overlay is activated. You also see what units are receiving morale support from being nearby the general, or adjacency support from nearby allied non-light units once the game has started. General's morale support UI is shown by a line of arrows going from the general's banner. Oh, okay. Is that? No. Line of arrows going from the general's banner to the supported unit's banner, and the adjacent support is a small line of arrows between the front corners. Okay, that's what they're showing over here in the right. It's not displaying yet because we're still in like this pause status. Okay, Morale support improves the unit's chances of passing cohesion checks and adjacency support. So it's kind of like this is Total War battles, except taken to that next realistic level. Minor POA, points of advantage boost, and prevents a unit from being flanked on that side. These lines become visible once the game is started. If the command range overlay is toggled on, you can move your units after you press the start button in the top center of the screen. After pressing start, close this window and select your cretin archers. You damn cretins. And continue tutorial. Okay, let's try this. Look at this. Select the archers. They're in the front. You have selected cretins. What is it? Cretin? A light foot skirmisher unit. Light units are identifiable from a distance by their loose spacing compared to non-light units. Okay, so these guys are light and these guys are heavy. These guys, the general's cavalry, and that looks like some type of light cavalry. Yeah, light cavalry. They prefer to shoot rather than melee, so they will generally evade enemy non-light units that approach them. With a ranged unit selected, you can right-click on an enemy unit to move your unit within range to start shooting, like that. If line of sight to an enemy is blocked by terrain or non-light units you cannot see over, then you cannot shoot them. If they're out of range, then a shoot command will tell your ranged unit to move within range, start shooting. Yeah, basic stuff. Light ranged units can shoot in any direction, and mounted units can shoot while moving. But non-light ranged units can only shoot with a limited arc in front of them. All ranged units also take priority shooting targets from among those enemies that are in range and will typically start shooting on their own if they can. That's good. That is, shooters will often prioritize other shooters or units that are a threat to them, like those that are very close, charging or shooting at them over the target you have assigned them. Note, so they might act independently. For the sake of the tutorial, the AI is largely passive in this scene. Yes, passive. I like passive. You can see the range of all your units and their current shooting targets if they exist by pressing the arrow overlay. Aha! Interesting. We got overlays for everything. Yes, I can move the thing, but it's attached to that, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. It's got the picture over to the right, but... Okay, and these are light cavalry, but they've got javelins. And these guys have bows, and we see the range for those different units. Okay. For unselected units, this overlay is yellow, and for selected units, orange. Nice, nice. Close this window. Make sure your cretin archers are selected. Then right-click the enemy archers to move to shoot them. Once your archers firing, the tutorial will continue. Fire! Fire one! Here we go. Auto first move, so they're moving in. Let's see. What do they look like close up? How are the graphics on this? Oh, I've got the graphics turned up too, man. They got old school look going to it. Although from back here, it really doesn't matter. Your skirmisher starts your enemy will display in the unit card. They are firing or okay. To move units to attack the enemy, you can select them one at a time and right-click on the desired enemy target. Units will automatically charge enemy in front of them within their anarchy charge range. The anarchy range is larger for more impetuous. What word usage here? Impetuous. Units like non-light cavalry and warband. The anarchy range can be displayed with the anarchy range overlay. There's a range overlay for everything. That is their anarchy range. Press this button now. If desired, you can also hold the Alt key to give a melee attack command to a ranged unit. Commandable units will also be forced into combat with enemies that soldiers overlap. Also note that ranged units cannot shoot through non-light units and must either have clear line of sight around blocking units or a height advantage to get in line of sight. You can select multiple units by using the left click and drag lasso or by holding the control key while selecting units in their cards. Now close this window and select both of your 2 non-light infantry units, the pikemen, at once to continue this tutorial. Okay, so their anarchy range is this red ring over here. Let's select these guys. You can move them together to a new location by right-click and holding while dragging the mouse from left to right along the desired formation line. So it's very similar to controls for Total War again. The facing direction for which is shown by the large arrow projected front. You do not right-click and drag out a path for them to follow. Instead, to make a path, hold Control while giving multiple move orders. Optionally specifying the facing of the units at each waypoint using right-click and drag. You can also just Alt right-click a location with multiple units selected to move them to that location while maintaining their current facing and offset. Okay. Close this window and move your pikemen to the enemy non-light infantry, and they will attack once in range. And move your pikemen to the non-light infantry. Okay. Got them selected. There we go. Now we're moving. Now we're cooking with gas, but I can't speed it up. And these guys are slower than dog snot. We've lost just a few. They have lost. What does it show? They lose about the same. Your infantry are now moving. If you hold the control key, you can see current waypoints. Control Alt, you can see current waypoints of all your units, regardless they're selected. Current waypoints are shown in green. Pending waypoints are red. You can queue waypoints by entering Control while selecting multiple move commands. If you hover the mouse over a unit while you have no unit selected, unit stats, cohesion. If you select a unit, hold over an enemy, the potential combat resolution. Now that I like, so you can see what the odds are. For range unit selected or melee and impact, non-range unit will be displayed. Selected unit is already in combat and you hover it over an opponent, then the most recent actual combat resolutions will be displayed. Combats are resolved on charges, impact, and on a regular interval during extended melee. Units often have distinct impact and melee capabilities. You can test these tooltips now while the tutorial window is open or after closing it. You can click and drag this window to move it out of the way if desired. You can also see the details of past combat. Close this window and select your light cavalry to continue the tutorial. All right, yeah, I want to charge in the light cavalry. A unit of light horse skirmishers, they behave much like light foot, preferring to shoot and evade. They will chase down, let's switch back to archery. Chase down an enemy and destroy Lightfoot in open rather than exchange fire with them, but are at a disadvantage in melee against Lightfoot in terrain like rough ground or woods. And I selected to have grass. I guess we're just in desert terrain. They are more capable on impact charge than Lightfoot and often defeat fragmented non-lights in the open or do well as a flanking. Okay. Banners display a unit's state symbol. Idle, moving, receiving, giving a charge, pursuing, routing, recoiling, or an ongoing melee. Units are commandable only if idle or moving. So what does that mean? So once you've made your choice, that's it. Like, hey, until they're done, then you're stopped. If the state symbol turns red, then the unit is not commandable. A non-commandable unit's banner will also glow red instead of green when selected, once combat has started and begun to affect enemy morale. All right, let's go up like that. Go, douchebags. Oh, look, courier's going. That's what the little douchebag's doing. Let's move my general forward to support. So the courier goes out. He issues the order. Oh, I like that. I like that. Delayed orders. We'll just let these guys go. We'll see how much that affects combat. Check his command status. No, you guys stay there behind the skirmishers. No, don't hit their infantry. Hit their light cavalry. Or their light... Well, never mind. Just hit their heavies, but... Yeah, there we go. I want those guys routing. Oh. Shoot. Shoot. Okay, this could be a problem. Yeah, they're... Okay, now they're skirmishing. That's good. That's good. Yeah, there we go. See, these guys are supporting. You can tell by the arrows. And I like that. But they're shooting at my guys now. So I want that to help. No, charge them. Don't receive the charge. Give the charge. And see, I took both charges. That's just crap. Units are defeated by losing all cohesion. The hell's this girl to? Can drop from losing rounds of close combat, from shooting, from seeing allies rout, from generals dying. Yeah. An infantry unit flanked by non-light infantry, non-light cavalry or elephants, cavalry flanked by non-light cavalry or elephants, elephant flanked by infantry or other elephants. So it seems kind of like it's rock, paper, scissors. To get a flank charge in, the flanking unit must be to the side or rear of the enemy. I mean, it's what you would expect. You want to hit them from the side or the rear. And the side must be free to be attacked. Units can be in up to 4 combats at once. They're front, left, right, rear. You cannot charge through your own units that are already in combat. And see, that's different too. You can't charge through your own guys. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. And the tooltip will say the charge is blocked. Units will recoil if they overlap with allies that are already... That's what recoil is. Causing them to move away from that combat. Win a battle, including this tutorial, by routing at least 65% of the enemy force. See the manual. Now close this window and win the battle to complete the tutorial. Let's skirmish with their... I like hitting these guys. They're doing better. I want to bring those guys around, have my general hit them. Wow, you're low ammo? Now you charge into them. Yeah, that's what I want to do, is kind of hit these guys from the side. Wow, damn, that was easy. Disordered, they had 3, they got broken, the rest were steady. Huh, okay, easy enough. Now I'm sure the main tutorial, like the intermediate, will tell us more, but let's just see what they have as options for the intermediate. Or for the historical battle simulator. All right. The demo includes only 3 of the final games, over 100 factions. Wow. It will include more optional allies in the final game. Demo also excludes elephants. No, we need our elephants. The final game will have many factions, allies. And I'll just say this, from playing the tutorial like that, it's going to drive Total War players freaking mad, especially at first. Because you're so used to speed clicking, right? Click, micromanaging units, and you can't do that. This is much more methodical. It's much more, thought out on how you're ordering your units. Having to take the time to send that courier to give the order. You can't just give the order. It doesn't work that way. You have to send him out. Hey, go do this. So that's going to drive some of those people crazy. You really need to think ahead of what's going to happen and what could happen and plan that out so you can not be trying to react. If you're just reacting, you're going to be slow, right? The whole way. Let's see. The deadly impact. So it's just telling about the different type. Difficult to beat in the open, well supported by hoplites. We've added a fourth faction, the late successor Macedonians. Man, this is cool. This is gonna really get some attention for those old school guys who like the old style combat, the ancient eras, as I like to think of it. All right. Uh, oh, okay. This isn't like a list of battles. This is I get to create a simulated battle. Okay, there's grassy flatland, rolling hills, desert. Let's see. Let's try the rolling hills. AI type. Yeah, let's go with well, actually, just give me a little time. We'll have them be cautious at first. Leave difficulty. What is this? Difficulty quantity, difficulty quality. Doubles red font color unit select. Interesting. So you can reduce the amount of enemy, I believe, and this determines the quality of the enemy. Interesting choices we get to make here. Use close deployment. Include allies in random selection of a random ally to the randomly selected factions. Does that? Yeah. Okay. Macedonian. Okay. Protected heavy impact. Okay. I don't get what these numbers mean though. That's something I'm not understanding. 1 and 2s. What's the 3? Is that this 3 options? Okay, so there's only 1 option there. There's 2 options there. 1 option, 2 options. It just seems like it's the options. That's medium infantry, or I can get 2 archers. Light cavalry. There's only 1 there. Heavy infantry or heavy infantry. It's 2 different types. Pikes. I like the look of those. Light javelin men. Let's see. Medium infantry, heavy infantry, heavy infantry. Couple of light cavalry, heavy, 2 light infantry, or 1 more medium infantry. I'm thinking more archers, baby. Heavy, medium, cavalry, and that's the leader. Cavalry for them, and it looks like they've only got 1 choice all the way down. And it shows stuff here, but I can't click on anything here. See, look, it's showing the option, but where was it? Oh, I can't change it. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 12. It won't let me change it. 1, 2, or 3 generals. And it's going to have all these different eras in it. Anywhere between roughly 600 BC to 300 AD, roughly. Interesting. Okay. I thought I was going to do... No, I don't want Romans. Carthaginians. Yeah, under Hannibal. We'll fight those guys. Now, I'm probably going to get just raffle stomped here. We'll give them slingers. I want to see how they do. Let's see. More heavy infantry, another cavalry, armored cavalry, the veterans, javelin men. Is it better to give them javelin or give them the heavy infantry? Let's see what they got. Light slingers. Yeah, we'll leave that as heavy infantry. That's enough skirmishers for them. Oh. Okay, so you've got the type, right? So you got Macedonian, and then you can select the different types. of them. Now, what does this green stuff mean? Does it change anything? Let's see. Oh, okay, okay. So that you can change it up like a subfaction thing. Interesting, interesting. And we'll just leave them. We'll leave them as default. Okay, all right. Now I don't know all of the ancient stuff, but I've played a fair amount of Total War Rome. You know, let's see how bad I can get butchered. Now, keep in mind I got no experience with this game, so didn't do the advanced tutorial. Now, part of me is wondering because I mean, look at this. If you showed someone a picture of this, they'd say this is Total War, right? And I'm not hating on them for that because you know a lot of people there's more than one game in a genre, right? There's plenty of first person shooters out there. There's plenty of RTS games and the like. So someone doing battles similar to Total War, no, nothing wrong with that. I don't see a problem with it. And there's been plenty of others, right? My curiosity is if this is only going to be the battle segment of the game, right? So you're cutting out all that campaign, all that capturing of territory and building up your forces and your finances, and it's straight tactics and no strategy how people are going to take to it. Because I could see, and just being realistic here, I could see some people going, why would I get just half the game when I can get the whole game over here? But I think this is going to swing hard into that realism, especially with the fact that you've got like couriers, orders aren't just passed out instantly. The general doesn't have a bullhorn to shout it out to the whole field. I think that's really going to appeal to some gamers, but I'm curious to see what the campaign's going to offer and how the campaign's going to play out. And if they do well with the campaign, I think this will do well and it will catch people's attention. But some are probably going to go, you know, why would I get this instead of just getting Total War where it's got more gameplay to it? And I think that's just going to come down to preference. Let's space out our skirmishers just a little bit. All right. It looks like the left hand of the unit will start from the mouse. Okay. Okay. All right. Over here, I have some cavalry. Which cavalry is this? These are light horse and they have javelins. These are light horse and they have javelins. I don't. Oh, crap. I didn't do good with my selection. I've got no heavy cavalry. This is going to be a problem. The only heavier cavalry I've got is my main force. These are medium infantry. All right, heavy. I'm fairly stacked on the heavy infantry, and I've got a good amount of skirmishers. But I don't think I'm going to do well on the flanks because I know they've got heavy cavalry. So let's pull some javelins off to the side. And we'll put these medium infantry in here. And I'll use them as like a maneuver force. That way, if I do get charged on the flank, I can have my javelins eat that instead of the medium infantry. You see, they've got spears and they've got pikes. That's what the word I'm thinking of, pikes. I think they would do better. I'm guessing here. I think the heavy pikes would do better against cavalry. All right, let's try this. If I do that, can I move the... Whoa. Do it there. Strong line. Yeah. Some skirmishers on the flank. And you guys over there. All right, let's just start it. Let's see what happens. All right. Who are they? They're light cavalry. And yeah, see, that's armored cavalry. They scare me. They scare me. Okay. Okay. And they're cautious, so they're going to hang back. I'm not as worried about those skirmishers. I think I can take them. They've got a line of skirmishers, and they've got... That's light. Do they have 2 generals? Or is this veteran cavalry, but I think they're light as well. Are they? Javelin orders mounted. They're hippies? Are they hippies? Which one's the general? I think that's gotta be the general. No, this is the general because he's got a star. They've got 2 generals. One of my generals is on the ground. Interesting. I've got 2 generals and they've got 2 horse generals. I still think they're gonna beat me though on this. All right, let's just skirmish in. All right, so I can see where my guys are going. You go after them. All right, he's sending out. I can see those guys going. See these guys going. Skirmishers are now trading. I'm wondering if I can focus fire down their skirmishers. Get in there. Don't let them charge my skirmishers. Okay. Whew. They moved in quick enough. My light horse got charged. All right. Can I move on there? Charging them. Oh, why are you backing up? You're infantry. Get in there. I'm trying to crush their flanks so I can get them in the center. Yeah, I'm not doing this right. Can you fire into those guys? The unit's not blocking me, idiot. We're just trading everywhere. Those guys are engaged in melee. How is it that they're getting charges on me, but I'm not getting charges on them? All right. General, get in there. Stick and move. I want these cavalry going on the flanks. Shoot those guys. Move up. I don't have enough guys to get in there. All right, where's mine? The infantry finally caught up with them. And I'm trying to use my general to charge down their cavalry. Let me move them. Yeah, you guys charge in and do something. Oh, the cavalry on the edge is broken. Been a lot of battling over there. Can y'all get stuck in and do something? All right. They're routing. Their general died. Yay. This is good. This is good. My heavy infantry is holding the center, I believe. My skirmishers are just lobbing shit everywhere. Y'all get going in. See if I can get my general to come around on their 6. All right, their center is breaking. Oh, I lost those cavalry. Did my general die? Where is he? Oh, no, I've lost units. Oh, they're routing. All right, you guys got to get stuck in instead of just standing there. I got too many guys just off. I got a set of infantry just chilling back here. So all my couriers are gone. Y'all got to get in there. General is stuck in. Ally routed. I still got a fair amount of skirmishers, but how am I losing heavy infantry? You guys need to get stuck in here. Get in there. Where are you? Y'all are just hanging out. Go get stuck in there. Get in the center. You're my heavy infantry. There you go. All you idiots are running. Stop running. If we could take out their general. I took the flanks, but I did not hold the center, but they don't have much left in the center. But I don't have much left to take it with. All my infantry's been routed out, I think, by all their cavalry. And their general is still here. He's getting torn up. Where is my general? Oh, he is broken. He is so broken. Could y'all get stuck in there already? You idiots, come back. You're a whole unit. Come back. Stop fleeing. Stop fleeing. Come hold the center. Come on, get in there. I've got a whole unit of infantry here I can't get an order to. These guys are getting shot up by my skirmishers. They're still left in the center. They're crushing me in the center. I've got a couple of units of infantry left. Come on, take out their general. Where is mine? My general's fled. Get in there. Get this guy. If I can pin him down here in the center. I think they did a good job of rounding my units by keeping them pinned in. Their general over here has just been running the whole time. I badly managed the center. I did decent on the flanks, but did not manage the center well at all. And it caused too much routing. I lost too much of my line. I was paying too much attention to the flanks. I can't believe I've still got cavalry running around out there. Come on, if you guys would get stuck in here and fight these guys. All right, group coming in. Finally, how am I getting the charge? All right, keep lighting up there, General. Is he routed? Target already engaged. Charge him. Charge him. Carthaginians win. No, I broke. Look at that. We had about even, but it was there on the flanks. It was at the center. I did such a poor job managing it because I was paying too much attention to the sides, and I messed that up. I should have come in a different direction. But hey, for a first match, it wasn't horribly bad. All right, so Strategos is definitely worth checking out, but it's got a learning curve to it, and the learning curve is going to come from the fact that you can't give instant orders. And I was feeling that the whole way through this match, going, no, go here. And it was irritating that I could not get my units to move when I wanted them to move. But if your general's way over here and I got the general stuck in, I really should have got him stuck in. I think that caused me problems because then I wasn't able to really get orders out. And both generals, I had one that was on foot and one that was cavalry. Both of them are in there, hooking and jabbing, so they couldn't really get the orders out. So that was poor decision making on my part. Like I said, I was able to hold that flank down, but getting the center and keeping it, I think I allowed them to flank me, and they were able to break too many of my heavy infantry, so they didn't hold. So, yeah, this game, I think people are going to like it because it has that realistic element to it. I'm going to need more time to make a full judgment to it. But what I really want to know is what these campaigns do. And I think the campaigns are going to be, a series of battles strung together. Obviously, the best part of Total War, and I know I keep saying Total War, but it's the most apt one to compare it to. The biggest part of Total War is the battles. That's the part that people always love. But I do enjoy the strategic element. So now you're focused in on that historical battle and the battle portion of Total War. And they're leaning into the simulation factor. Like, this has a more realistic feel to it than, Total War does by far. Now, my experience with Total War is mainly in the Warhammer universe. I love the Warhammer game. I think the people who are going to love this are going to be the ones who have modded things like Total War Rome, right? Total War Rome, Total War Medieval, those eras. Yes, Medieval's a little bit farther, but still. The ones who have modded those games to add specific historical units or have the battles play out more thematically than the arcadey style that you see in Total War. So I think those people are going to eat this game up. I think the ones that generally play Warhammer, the fantasy style one, are not going to like this because it's not that click fest that you have in those games where units always respond instantly to orders and you can cycle charge and all that. There's no cycle charging in this game. It's sending out your couriers, waiting, trying to manage your units, but you're kind of on that battlefield as that general, and it takes a minute. And if you're dumb like me and stick your general right in the middle of a mosh pit, you're not going to be getting your orders out, and you're going to end up with two heavy units just sitting there on the flanks with thumbs in their butts because the enemy hasn't got into their attack radius, and that crushed me. And I think if I had managed that better, I probably would have won the game. I like it. I think there is a good game here. It feels solid, right? It feels solid already. Now, I think the fact that they're going to launch with a whole lot of factions from, hundreds of years span, all the different types of units, archers and javelins and medium infantry, light infantry, heavy infantry, and then of course elephants in there. I think with all that, the players like myself who lean more towards that historical side are really going to find something that they're going to like here. It feels solid, feels good. I'm looking forward to seeing the full total launch and how good it is when it launches. I am yeah. This one is it's put up there. I am cautiously optimistic. I'm really anticipating to see what the campaigns have to offer, and I think that's going to make the difference for me on the game, like how good the campaign is. All right, but that's going to be it for me. If you guys want to try Strategos for yourselves, the demo is available on Steam right now, so you can jump on there now and try it out. And there's a handful of factions. There's a handful of factions and different units that you can go ahead and try out now. Handful of maps, well, 3 maps that you can play with. So there's plenty of actual gameplay there. It's not like it's just one battle with a handful of units. You've got a fair amount to play with to decide if the game is for you or not. And to me, that inspires confidence because it's showing me that they're willing to put out a good chunk of it right off the bat. Like, hey, here, check it out. We think if you try this bite-sized bit, you're going to want the rest of it. And I think that's going to help people make their decisions. But all right, that's going to be it for me. You guys take care. I'll catch you in the next one.